News 3 at 5:30.
Just ahead, are we facing a COVID holiday surge? How to keep you and your family safe this Thanksgiving.
And we're on your side with ways to escape holiday scammers. Now let's step outside and show what's happening over Savannah. There's our view from our Savannah cam looking toward downtown, and that certainly is a beautiful sunset view, and that's something we've been enjoying over the past several evenings. Sunset officially was at 5:21, so 9 minutes ago is when that sunset. Now we are seeing some cloud cover stream into the region on our satellite and radar imagery. No rain with this right now, but as we look to our west and northwest, that's where we do have a cold front that will be approaching us throughout tonight, and that will bring us some showers first thing Friday morning. The good news is, as the morning progresses, those rain chances will be getting lower, and by lunchtime, we'll actually have the sunshine reappearing with full sun then in the afternoon hours. As far as those temperatures, they've been mild today, and they're going to be staying fairly mild as we head into the evening hours. 60s now, low temperatures will be in the 50s first thing for Friday morning, and we will be in the 50s for us this evening, so overall those temperatures will be holding pretty steady. We'll take a look at the complete weekend forecast coming up in a few moments.
As so many families across the nation are coming together for the holidays, a frustrating development could dampen some celebrations.
COVID cases are rising once again. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez has the latest.
This morning, as Americans gather for Thanksgiving, COVID is on the rise again, now topping 48 million infections in the U.S. Cases surging 30% nationwide this month, the Midwest seeing the biggest uptick. In Michigan, cases have spiked nearly 70%.
We're looking at 2 to 3 times the number of COVID patients that we had going back a month or two.
It is definitely very frustrating, and we were hoping that we will be approaching this holiday season where all of us will be able to enjoy the company of our loved one.
Parts of the Northeast also hit hard. Erie County, New York just recorded its highest daily number of new cases since the pandemic began.
I wish I had better news, but unfortunately we are going in the wrong direction, and this is the worst direction we've ever had.
But hospitalizations among those who are vaccinated and younger are extremely rare. In Minnesota, for example, the death rate for fully vaccinated people under 50 during the Delta surge was 0.0 per 100,000 people.
I can't stress this enough. The biggest keys to stopping what you're seeing, the most effective means, is vaccines.
So why the new wave?
There's 3 driving factors for the increase in cases. A high unvaccination rate still in parts of the country. Number 2, a majority of the new cases are children who are also unvaccinated. And then 3, we're seeing these cases cropping up in social settings.
What are you telling people who are getting ready to see their family members for the holidays?
Yeah, if they're going to or from an area with high cases, which is now becoming a large part of the country, I'm telling people to try to isolate their movements in advance of traveling, trying to do a test before they travel.
To find the latest news on COVID-19, head to our website at wsav.com/coronavirus.
New at 5:30, an investigation underway after a vehicle was found in a pond with 2 people inside in Screven County. Authorities say Tuesday afternoon they responded to a call about a suspicious vehicle at an address on White Hill. They arrived and found 2 people were in that pond in the car. The victims are identified as 41-year-old Amanda Marie Atkins and 60-year-old Todd Wilson Lee, both of Sylvania, Georgia. Now, several agencies, including the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, are handling the case. If you have any information, contact the Screven County Sheriff's Office. Well, the American Farm Bureau Insurance Company says we are paying 14% more this year for our Thanksgiving dinner than last year. The most expensive item on the table is the turkey. The White House blames supply chain congestion caused by the pandemic for the higher prices. Some Republican senators say the Biden administration is not taking the issue seriously enough. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren is calling for the Justice Department to investigate. She accuses the poultry industry of foul play through, quote, excessive consolidation and price fixing.
And no matter how many puppy dog eyes you get, there are some holiday foods you should make sure stays far away from your pets. Stuffing, onions, and many fruits can be dangerous for dogs. It's also important to make sure they don't have access to turkey bones. However, most meat, green beans, and potatoes are okay to leave as scraps for your dog.
In our consumer alert, people may be turning from the turkey to the computer to start holiday shopping Friday, but remember to be careful because this year more online scams are expected to target all of us. That includes phishing scams that ask you to click on links that will take you to fake websites. The scams not only come through email, but more and more are coming through a text message on your cell phone.
But I think the understanding that mobile devices are a target for hackers and scammers is certainly spreading, and people are understanding that. We certainly see that effect in scammers moving more and more towards targeting the mobile platforms.
Experts say deal with these new text messages the same way you would with a strange email. When in doubt, delete. The Better Business Bureau says don't click on links in emails or Facebook ads. Go directly to the shopping site yourself.
And age is just a number. No one proves that like T-Skinny Man Myers of Hepzibah, Georgia, the world's strongest granddaddy. Myers has been competing in powerlifting competitions for more than 40 years. He's won 28 world championships, set numerous world records, and has been elected twice to the Powerlifting Hall of Fame. But he's nowhere near finished.
Just because you're over 65, that doesn't mean you got to be just sitting on the porch watching the prices right all day long. And people get to the point that, oh, I'm 40, I'm old. I'm not finished. I'm only 65.
And he's not even afraid of some of the younger guys.
I always tell the young boys, you're going to whoop me one day, but today is not that day. So all you young guys out there, if you want some, I'll be down in Waynesboro December 18th. If you want some of the Skinny Man, the world's strongest granddaddy, bring it. But you won't take first place back with you.
And looking ahead, you're invited to take part in a community-wide walk for unity. It's open to the public. The event is happening Saturday, November 27th at Daffin Park. At 10 in the morning, participants will walk one lap around Daffin Park, which will be followed by a prayer circle. If you'd like to be involved, meet at the B Road entrance to Daffin Park before the walk.
Buford High School is set to play for a lower state championship tomorrow. But before that, we want to introduce you to one of their remarkable athletes. Some may have quit the team, given the sacrifices he's made along the way. But this athlete of the week shows us he had faith that everything happens for a reason.
The WSAV Athlete of the Week is presented by O.C. Welch Ford Lincoln.
When James Dennison joined the Buford football program, he wanted to be QB1.
That was the goal, you know. I was going to try to be the starter junior and senior year, hopefully.
But it didn't pan out that way. Tyler Haley, a quarterback in Dennison's class, emerged as one of the best gunslingers in the Low Country. It became clear Dennison wasn't going to get playing time unless the Eagles were in a blowout.
Senior year, you know, I just wanted to get on the field any way I could, so I was open to playing receiver, and I accepted that role.
The longtime quarterback taught himself how to play a new position. But before he could even take a regular season snap, the game brought more change.
So we talked to him about it, and he just had a great attitude. He kind of smiled, and he said, well, you know, Coach, I played linebacker in middle school.
His second position change in a matter of months turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Dennison cracked the starting roster and unlocked a part of what made him fall in love with the sport years ago.
It was really cool getting to play linebacker again, you know, getting to hit people, be on the aggressive instead of getting hit every play.
Getting hit less while being able to hand out some punishment. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal. But few can make the transition as seamlessly as Dennison did this year.
He's a lot smarter than I am, I know that. So, you know, he just took it in stride and did what he was supposed to do and kept playing, and he's a big reason why we're here.
Here, just one win away from a state championship berth, with Dennison leading the way at a position he's embraced for a team he never gave up on.
You got to stick with it, you know. I definitely had the chance to quit sophomore, junior year because I knew I wasn't going to be the starter. I just told myself I was going to stick with it and good things will come, and I stuck with it, and now I'm starting linebacker.
He's the model, you know, for what we want our program to be, so just really proud of him.
The babies at Coastal Carolina Hospital in Hardyville and Hilton Head Hospital are getting into the holiday spirit. Look at these guys. Staff is starting a new tradition by dressing the babies born on Thanksgiving and the days prior in fun and festive turkey costumes.
Yeah.
If that doesn't make you go, "Aw," nothing will.
I mean, it just does. They're so cute.
They're so darling.
All right, still ahead at 5:30. It's our journey to Beijing.
We're hitting the slopes and hearing from a man that fell in love with snowboarding before it was an Olympic sport.
A Savannah organization is working to put Thanksgiving dinner on the table for those who may need it. I'm Brian Ray, and next on News 3 at 6, I'll tell you how many meals they've given away so far today and why staff say this year's Thanksgiving is different than others.
Chances are, when you think of snowboarding, the first name that comes to mind is Shaun White.
Yeah, for sure. But there was a time when Shaun White was not a household name, a time when snowboarding was not a well-known sport. Andrew Martin takes us back on this week's installment of Journey to Beijing.
Byron Stickler was born in 1970. He's 51 years old. He's certainly not 51 years old in this picture.
You know, I was probably the second wave, actually, when it coming through. There was a big wave in the 80s, but I would say the second wave I was definitely part of.
Snowboarding first became an Olympic sport in 1998. Byron Stickler began snowboarding 10 years earlier, in 1988. He was 18 years old.
There was this little show-off quality to me. I mean, you really sort of have to have that to be a great athlete. 97 to 2001 was I was really competitive, really doing competitions.
A competitive snowboarder before the sport became popular.
What they're writing these days is everything is perfectly manicured. I mean, it's perfect. We didn't have that. It's been an interesting progression to watch the change of sport.
Stickler was self-taught, and he learned how to snowboard by skateboarding.
You know, I did a lot of pools and ramps. I liked it because I liked getting air later on.
Byron Stickler taught himself well. Growing up in Central California, he traveled all over the state. In 1997, he won a national championship in slopestyle.
My dream day is there's 2 feet of fresh powder that's super cold. There's no wind, and snow is just slightly coming down, and you look at the run in front of you, and nobody's touched it. That's the best feeling of it.
On the journey to Beijing, I'm Andrew Martin.
Now, WSAV News 3 on your side weather with Storm Team 3 Viper Radar. Powered by the Dozier Law Firm.
Well, for our Thanksgiving Day, we had beautiful weather around the region. That will be changing as we head into the first part of Friday as our cold front approaches us. That'll bring us the chance for a few showers. But for Thanksgiving, we did make it into the upper 60s and lower 70s for those afternoon high temperatures. 70 for Hazelhurst, 72 for Jessup, 67 was our high temperature here in Savannah. And the sunshine that we had certainly helped those temperatures to warm up. And here's the view out along the Savannah River looking toward downtown. Sun setting just a little bit ago, and all that sunshine did help us to warm up pretty nicely, but the cloud cover will be increasing as we head into the overnight hours. 65 is the current temperature. A south wind will help to keep the moisture levels a little bit more elevated than what we had last night, so that means those temperatures are going to be a lot slower to cool off. So by tomorrow morning, it's going to be pretty mild in comparison to the near freezing temperatures for some of us this morning and the well below freezing temperatures that we had Wednesday morning. We are starting to cool off for a lot of us. Upper 50s for Hampton, 61 for Rincon at this hour. Still on the mild side a little further to the south in Alma, 66 degrees for that current temperature. If you are going to be heading out first thing Friday morning to do some shopping, you want to get to those stores pretty early before the sun rises. We do have some fairly decent rain chances, 20 to 30%, but as the morning progresses, those rain chances will be dissipating and the temperatures will be able to warm into the mid 60s again as we head into the later afternoon. So a few passing showers first thing tomorrow. And then for the weekend, things will clear out. Cool and breezy conditions are expected and warmer days are expected next week, and the mornings by then are going to be pretty warm in comparison as well. Looks like the only winter-like morning is going to be 36 on Saturday, then the 40s going into the new work week, near 50 degrees then for next Thursday morning. High pressure and control of our weather right now is dying off as our next cold front brings in. That will bring us those showers, but then high pressure again will bring us that sunshine for this weekend and rather comfortable conditions. That colder air that is well to our north is not going to be working in our direction. Just a slight cool down is expected. For tonight, 50 degrees for that low temperature with that cloud cover increasing very late, if not very early tomorrow morning. That's when we do have that chance of a few showers developing along that front, but then by lunchtime, things will begin to clear out. If you have plans to head out on the waterways, we'll have temperatures in the 60s, rather breezy as that front moves through. West wind 15 knots, waves 2 to 3 feet. So overall, not too bad for boating, but you might want to stay on shore with that strong breeze. Sunny skies then expected for the weekend. Some slight cloud cover for us going into next week, along with a slight warm up. The 70s will be back for next Wednesday and Thursday. Let's look at your forecast for now. We'll have more at 6 o'clock.
All right, thank you, Scott. Around the community yesterday, CASA prepping meals for local families ahead of Thanksgiving. The meals were handed out at Lily's Restaurant and Bar on Johnny Mercer Boulevard. Organizers tell News 3 this was the first meal many of these families will share since they were reunited. The owner of the restaurant says it was an honor to provide those meals.
Everybody here, all the staff here, all the customers that have participated in making this happen. I would like to let them know that this is not just, feeding the needy, but feeding people that have more to Thanksgiving than just a good home-cooked meal.
CASA says many of the children and families they work with live in poverty, so a Thanksgiving meal can make a big difference.
Now, whether you dance to remember or dance to forget, Savannah, get ready to rock and roll. That's right. The legendary rock band, the Eagles, is coming to the In-Market Arena next year. The hostess city gets the honor of kicking off their Hotel California tour. It's happening February 19th, but fans be on high alert. Tickets are going on sale December 3rd at 10 in the morning. That's coming up next week, so mark your calendars. For more information on the concert and where to buy those tickets, head to WSAV.com/what's trending. And just ahead in what's trending, we've got a look at some of the most well-groomed dogs in the nation.
Yeah, stick around to find out which pups won and which even made history.
Plus, one NFL star shocked and enraged some people on the internet when he revealed his least favorite Thanksgiving dish. That and more coming up.
All right, we know a lot of you may have watched the Macy's Day Parade and you may have tuned into the big games today, but don't forget that everyone's favorite furry friends also had their time to shine this morning.
We're talking about the National Dog Show, of course, and we've got a recap for you just in case you missed it. Claire, the Scottish Deerhound, made history when she won Best in Show for the second year in a row, the first time for any dog to win back-to-back in the show's 20-year history. Way to go, Claire. A Pyrenean Shepherd named Sasha took home Reserve Best in Show, which is second place. Other winners include Jade, a German short-haired pointer in the sporting group, Chester the Athens Pinscher in the toy group, Winter the English Bulldog in the non-sporting group, and many others. Look at those guys.
An armed carjacking suspect in Indiana made it easier for police to track him down. How, you ask? Well, because he's an idiot. And I say that with proof. He left behind a selfie on the victim's phone. The suspect stole a woman's car outside an assisted living facility in Indianapolis on Monday. The victim says he was waiting for her mom in a parking lot, or she was waiting for her mom, when the man approached her with a gun and demanded that she move to the passenger seat. She got out of the car, handed him her keys, and he took off, but not before taking her cell phone. The phone was found about 15 minutes away. When the victim examined it, she found that he seemed to have accidentally left a piece of him selfie. Get it?
Wow.
Him selfie? Yeah. Left it on the camera.
There's a gift for police right
Not
there.
So smart, yeah.
Top Gun Barbie has hit the shelves, you guys. Collectors and fans of the Top Gun series can get their hands on the doll designed after Natasha Phoenix Trace from the upcoming sequel, Top Gun Maverick. It costs $40 and it ships as early as December 1st. Top Gun Maverick is set to land in theaters next May.
All right, well, I'm sure we all have that one favorite Thanksgiving dish, but let's talk about the one we just can't stand every year. Well, New England Patriots linebacker Matthew Judon got some people riled up earlier this week when he talked about his least favorite dish. Listen to this.
All right, well, I'm not even going to answer your question. I'm going to tell you we got to get macaroni and cheese off the table. All right, guys. It's just cheese and noodles. All right, I'm getting on my soap opera. It's just cheese and noodles, and it's not that good. Probably one of the most overrated dishes, but my favorite is dressing. I do love dressing.
I don't know how I feel right now.
What is he talking about? I just want to leave. I just can't.
And
what was
gone.
that? Macaroni and
cheese.
cheese.
So strong.
He was strong about it. Macaroni and cheese is a serious holiday dish.
Absolutely,
and I think
agree.
you need like 10 years and a couple of references before you can make it for the family.
Yes.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I was going to say, I think maybe he didn't have good mac and cheese. You need to keep trying different
trying.
cheeses because they're good.
All right.
Well, 'tis the season to be jolly. When we come back, online shopping, but it's also the season of scams. We're on your side with what you need to watch out for.
And after more than a year, some agencies and organizations are finally able to hold their annual Thanksgiving community dinners. We have a live report from one of the largest. WSAV News 3 at 6 is next.